Welcome back to the MTG seal where we're going to be featuring Ixalan. We're going to take our 6 booster packs that we separated in the bundle opening video and open them up, see what we get, and make a sealed deck out of it. I'm just going to set these over here for now. This is a lot like pre-release. I know there's some other events where people will run sealed. It's not very common. Usually in the limited format you're going to be drafting. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here too so you guys can see the cards a little bit better. I'll probably just highlight uncommons and rares. Just what I usually do is I just separate it by color first. If there's something that I really like, I might set aside. But yeah, you'll usually just see this during pre-release weekend, but it's possible you could get the opportunity to make a sealed deck another point in time. So our first uncommon is Vine Shaper Mystic. 3 for a 1/3, and you can put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target merfolk. It can be itself, so that's nice. Imperial Lancer. I'm not going to read through all the cards. You guys can see them hopefully fairly well, or you're familiar enough with the set. Stormfleet Spy. Death Gorge Scavenger. This is actually a pretty good card. You're dependent on cards in the graveyard to keep activating them, but can buff itself or gain you life, so might be good. A lot of people just seem to really love dinosaurs. I don't know if it's the sheer power some of them have, or if it's because we finally get to play with dinosaur cards. But they're definitely fun, but I think there's a lot of other good ways you can go when building your decks. When I drafted during draft weekend, I didn't really go for a tribe in particular. I actually went 3 colors because I thought I was going to go Grixis splashing blue, but with 2 air elementals it was going to be too dependent on getting that blue mana, and I ended up just going red black. I probably had the most, I think I had the most pirates in mine, and I had vampires was a very close second. This is actually a great uncommon. I'm going to stop where I'm at. I like it a lot. I don't know what you guys think about it. 5 mana for a 5/5 trample, and when it enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to each other creature. It can wipe out the smaller tribes that I was just talking about. And, oh, okay. I was going to say, that's odd that they put the foil before the rare. But, foil artifact, just common. And then this is a pretty good rare too, actually. Legion's Landing, 1 mana for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you get 1 vampire creature token with lifelink, and then if you attack with 3 or more creatures, it doesn't have to be vampires, just creatures, you transform it to either add 1 white mana or to create more vampire tokens. So it's pretty nice. But yeah, some people really stuck to the tribes. I just went with what I felt were the best cards in the pack for the color scheme I was going with, and it worked out well for me. I went 4-1 and ended up taking first place during it. It's the first time that I got a first place in a draft, so that was pretty fun. Opening weekend usually has the most people I've noticed, but it might depend on other factors too, like the promo they're putting out. Even though now there's going to be, the tokens, I think, which isn't quite as fun, especially since they just had Fatal Push promo going. I haven't been paying too much attention to the cards, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to go with. This maybe will be like an opening video, and then I'll do a second one in which I build the deck, just because I don't want this to take up too much time. This one's alright. It's dependent on what else you have, but it can definitely hit pretty well. You can turn it into your strongest creature, which is nice. Although it has to be an attacking creature, so if you just summon something massive, you have to wait till it doesn't have summoning sickness. Are any of you guys favoring the tribe? Any of the tribes out there? The merfolk, pirates, vampires, or the dinosaurs? The merfolk are actually, I like them a lot more than I thought I would. Like during spoiler season when you're reading it, I thought merfolk seemed kind of whatever and a little underpowered, but they actually have a lot of evasiveness to them to keep getting damage in. And then you can buff them, of course, with like flying or with, oh, there's a mythic, nice. Axis of Mortality. Beginning of upkeep, you may have 2 target players exchange life totals. That's an interesting mechanic. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just saying the merfolk were surprisingly better than I thought. Vampires. The vampires I've gone with for pre-release and draft a little bit, not like entirely, but they were a little bit more underwhelming than I actually thought they'd be. They aren't kind of cohesive, I guess. There's the Deacon, which can buff other vampires. There's, oh, I forget. There's one where I think when it enters the battlefield, target player loses life for each vampire you control, but they don't really, like, I don't know, they just don't seem to go together all that well other than a couple of them. And we get a rare land this time. Rootbound Crag. The pirates are interesting. You get a lot of raid and a lot of explore mechanic with pirates. Explore, I think, is really helpful, actually, at least with the limited format. Raid, some of them are worth it, some of them aren't really. Some of them you like really need the raid to activate in order for the card to be worth it. Yeah, but then again, sometimes just you'll play it for board presence. You're just going to be paying a little bit more than you would. Okay, here's one of the vampires actually that is better with other vampires. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life for each vampire you control. And a Deadeye Tracker. Here's a pirate that explores. Pay 2 mana, tap it to exile 2 cards from an opponent's graveyard, and it can explore. And oh, nice, we get a foil rare, Rampaging Ferocidon. I'm actually not familiar with this one, I haven't seen it yet in play. Menace, players can't gain life, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. So that's you or your opponent. That's interesting. Alright, so yeah, I'll probably stop there. Just, that's what Pool A, we'll call it, is going to be. And in the next video, I'll look through the cards a little bit to familiarize myself with them. And that way I'm not just bumbling around trying to talk and think at the same time. We'll make up the deck, and then we will play the opponent who's going to use Pool B. So thanks for tuning in.